Holy hole in a donut!
Or maybe a bit more like Bert and Ernie.
Hey, Bert.
This is Luke and Lewis on Triple M Modern Digital.
That's right, it's Luke and Lewis for lunch on Triple M Modern Digital. Get excited, listeners. It's going down.
What's going down?
This show.
Cool.
Going down. Actually, it's going up in quality, content, and style. Also, minute amount of flair.
Style?
Yes.
What's so stylish about today's show? Tell us more, Lewis.
Mate, me.
You got me captivated. Well,
I'm
that's certainly not happening today. We're actually discussing the opposite. The world's worst dressed man was announced by GQ magazine, and I've got a bit of a problem with their list. But we'll get to that later in the show.
All right, cool.
That's all I'm
They didn't
saying.
choose you.
Well, on the contrary, it was you. They didn't choose. But I was going to tease that for later in the show, but now people know.
See, well, now we're bickering already. I think we, you're supposed to be my work wife.
Well, after
as we decided yesterday.
Yeah, after the break, we are having some marriage counselling, I think.
Work marriage counselling.
Yes.
Get it straight. We're not actually married. We're work married, okay?
Yeah,
See?
9 to 5 married.
We're already off to a bad start. It's time to create some historic radio, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to really step it up a notch in terms of artistic integrity on this station.
Often this is groundbreaking stuff, as Lewis said, but often on other shows we'll deviate away from certain topics because it's perhaps considered immature and
Basic,
childish.
Rude.
Yeah.
Just
We celebrate it
them.
on our show.
Nothing's beneath us, mate.
No.
We're beneath everything else, holding it up to the world for the world to see.
Yes.
So we were having a conversation before the show. What's the what's the best combination of bodily functions? And by that we mean, burping, farting, yawning, anything that's like automatic and
Having a wee, having
kind
a
of
poo.
involuntary, more instinctual than anything.
Yeah.
There's a few that we can't say because of we're on the radio.
Yes.
But
one that came to mind was the obvious one of wouldn't it be great if you could let off flatulence and and sneeze at the same time.
fart and sneeze.
Fart and sneeze combo.
Now,
Maccas aren't selling that, but
mate, I've done that before. Actually, I've done a fart and a sneeze before.
really?
Yeah, it was amazing. Felt like my whole body was deflating.
What about another one that was brought up for the show was a yawn and a poop at the same time.
See, I reckon...
A bit of a sleepy poo.
I reckon, see, that's good, but I reckon a yawn and a fart would be even better because your whole body would act like a giant wind tunnel.
My dad's
Is it
just
going?
called me right now when we're live on air, and he knows we do this show. He's probably listening going, this is great stuff, boys.
He's trying to put a stop to it, mate. Go have a sneeze and a laugh.
But another possible one is, really, I mean, I was going to say breathing and anything, but we always do a breathe wee. Like, breathe wee is normal.
I've never held my breath and done a wee.
Oh, sneeze wee.
Sneeze wee. See,
It'd go
that'd be
everywhere.
messy.
The shock of the wee. It'd end up being a real messy wee.
Yeah, that's
But I
true.
think, definitely, I think the one that is still sneeze and fart at the same time is absolutely one of the most liberating things a human could probably
Yeah.
achieve. We did not tell Radio Mike to get those sound effects up. You took it. You were like. You were like, what? Lewis is losing it. You were like, what more does this segment need? It needs sound effects.
Ended. I can't even talk.
Are we deciding of what's the best? Is that the best one?
I don't even know.
Lewis isn't even here anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
Thank you, Radio Mike.
Do you want one more?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do something different.
Pushing the boundaries, ladies and gentlemen, on Triple M Modern Digital. This is Luke and Lewis for lunch.
In yesterday's show, Luke, we worked out the benefits of a work wife, a work marriage.
Well, you feel that having a work wife between 9 to 5 could benefit your overall concentration, your I
Not
don't know.
just
Do
me.
you think it would improve your overall performance here at the station?
Yeah, I've got studies here. So a work wife is a colleague that you have just with you who, you call them your work wife and they look after you. And it's actually proven to increase your productivity, help you out around the office, and 47.2% of professionals either have or wish they had a work spouse. And I just want to become part of that 47.2%, Luke. So yesterday's show, I work proposed to you.
And it came off a bit strong just because you didn't really take me out to dinner first. You didn't.
We
take
didn't
me
do
out.
any work dates. No,
No, we didn't do any
You were
work
never my work
dates.
girlfriend.
Yeah,
But,
it felt like it all happened pretty quick. And then I also felt like perhaps you rushed the proposal, which was made obvious by the ring that you
what
used.
was wrong with the ring?
You gave me looped a pair of scissors around my fingers.
Office scissors.
Are they even your scissors? Well, they're
Well,
mine now. But
Yeah, no, they're your scissors. I gave them to you. I don't know.
But did you own them?
I don't know who the previous owner was.
so second-hand scissors.
Never officially transferred ownership to me, but I assume that they're not looking for them anymore, and they're happy that you're wearing them on your finger. Why aren't you wearing them right now?
Because I'm ashamed to have you as a work husband. Now,
That's rude as.
I've
Gone through all the effort of work proposing to you. I've worked out a work arranged
You found
marriage.
them on the desk.
Doesn't matter.
You didn't go to any effort.
Look, forget about the office scissors. The point is, you're my work wife, and you will respect me as such.
Well, this sounds very, very outdated. Very outdated marriage now. Now, Lewis, things did heat up on the show yesterday at the end when you
We got into a lovers spat, a work lovers tiff.
I would call it was almost a divorce on the show. I think divorce was bandied round, but today
Mate,
we
don't
want to
break my
work.
fragile work heart.
Mate, you're not treating me with any respect.
I'm
all right,
I'm a work romantic. I'm a classic work gentleman. Okay.
you're not that romantic, mate.
Yes, I am.
You could have
They're
had.
orange. When have you seen orange office scissors?
When have you seen a diamond ring that resembles orange office scissors?
Mate, the next time I see a pair of office diamond rings, all right, I'll bring them straight to you.
Thank
but
you.
until then, this is a work marriage. And my resources are limited. Okay, but yeah, we did have a bit of an argument, and I think you're being very disrespectful. I have a clip, actually. Mike, play the clip.
I was a bit offended with. I don't think you spent a lot of money on the ring. You use office scissors.
I didn't spend any money. This is a work marriage, okay? Stop getting ahead of yourself. You're not that special. You're only special 9 to 5, Dal. See? Okay, that came across as me being very mean.
It was me. That's what I'm saying. I'm not happy with this arrangement that we've set up. All these, I'm supposed to be a work wife now, and it's like, mate.
Mike, why didn't you edit that to make Luke sound a lot meaner? Because
that's exactly what happened on the show yesterday. You were just mean, and you gave me work scissors.
Okay, that wasn't my intention with this. My intention was to make you look like the bad person, but you know what?
It's hard, but considering I've been nothing but so far agreeing to this marriage. I was forced. It was more of an arranged marriage. Let's be honest. I didn't have any say in it.
Yeah, well, look, you know what? I'm sorry, okay?
My father just said, you know what? I've met with Lewis's boss, and you know what I mean? And we think you guys would be a good fit. My boss met with your boss, and
so Dave met with himself.
Yeah.
He's talking to himself in the mirror. He's always doing that, isn't he?
And he agreed that he'd be a good fit, but I was like, I don't know, I'm an I think I'm in love with Radio Mike, and then all these people were just like, no, you and Lewis, work love. No.
Yeah.
After 5, we do not speak.
Well, you know what? Okay,
Mike's really offended. We do. We text a lot.
I'm willing to try and fix our work relationship. I think we need to do some work marriage counselling.
So after the break, we're going to have a work marriage mediation session where we'll talk through a few issues. Maybe I've got some concerns to raise,
which
I
I'm
know
sure
you
will be
do.
easily fixable.
We'll see. This may end in a work divorce.
Luke and Lewis for lunch on Triple M Modern Digital. As you know. I hope you know. Hope you still remember. I proposed to you to become my work wife on Friday.
You did. It was more of an arranged marriage. I feel like
an arranged work marriage.
I'm forced to be in the marriage a little bit. But today we've had a few differences so far in our work marriage where perhaps I haven't been happy with the ring. You got me office stationary scissors to be looped around my finger. That's not a ring. That's cutting equipment.
And we've also been arguing a bit. We have a clip of our little argument that happened on Friday night's show. Mike, can you play that?
I was a bit offended with, I don't think you spent a lot of money on the ring. You use office scissors?
I didn't spend any money. This is a work marriage, okay? Stop getting ahead of yourself. You're not that special. You're only special 9 to 5, Dal. And I think the listeners
Friday
will
night
agree.
show, was it?
Was it?
On Monday.
Was that when I proposed?
Yeah.
Sorry, the after party was
Seriously means
That was
nothing.
yesterday,
Mate,
Lewis.
seriously, this marriage means nothing to you. This
Mate.
work marriage.
Look, it felt like a Friday. I was partying so hard, it felt like a Friday. And
It happened last night and you don't even remember. Do you know how
Mate.
offended I am as your work wife?
Well,
Also, we're engaged, but not actually married.
I would disagree with that. Just because I can't remember what happened yesterday doesn't mean that we're not married, work married. But this is the problem. I think we need to go through some work-wife counselling.
So we've got our official marriage counsellor in the
Work
studio,
marriage counsellor.
which is Radio Mike.
Hey guys, how are you?
Are you ready to be... so the one thing, if you don't know about being a marriage counsellor, just a quick tip. It's
So we did have to Google it. We're like,
Yeah.
how do you be a counsellor?
your only job is, after we say something fairly emotive or emotional, you just say, and how does that make you feel? So
Yeah,
that's your
cool.
one job.
Can you do that?
So how
Yeah.
does that make you feel, having that as your one job?
That's easy, guys. Take a seat. Start. I'm ready to hear. I'm happy to hear it.
Wow, let's
Okay.
open up.
Thank
I
you.
feel comfortable. This is a
This is
nice,
good.
relaxing space.
Oh, he's got music
You've
too.
got some nice little calm music there
Oh,
for us.
Okay.
Lewis, you start off. If you have
Okay.
any
Look,
concerns.
honey, why aren't you cooperating with our work marriage? I put so much effort into the proposal. The marriage was so good that I forgot about it happening. And you're just sitting here and you're not cooperating at all.
Because I didn't want to get married.
Okay, Lewis.
Work
How's that
married.
make you feel?
That makes me feel disrespected because I know that you didn't want to get married. That's why our work proposed. Otherwise, it would have real proposed. So, really, this is a favour for you. You're welcome.
Okay, Luke. How does that make you feel?
I'm thinking of handing in a resignation to the company just to avoid this work marriage at the moment.
Right.
I know it's quite a rash and big call, but at the moment I don't feel like this is a safe space for me. I feel like I've been forced into a marriage that I don't know if I feel comfortable yet.
Luke.
Sorry. Lewis, how's that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I want to ask another question. Luke, you being my work wife will help improve my performance. It's proven by 14.3%. My productivity will increase. So you being my work wife will help our show. And then, we'll be huge. This is for our career.
I think my duties...
Wait, hang on. Mike wanted to ask something.
Sorry. Thanks, Lewis. I just wanted to ask, how does that make you feel, Luke?
Well, Radio Mike, that makes me feel...
No, talk
like
to me. You're not talking to the marriage counsellor. This is for us, okay?
He said, how does that make him feel? I'm answering Mike.
He's here to facilitate
This
conversation
is what I get in
between
this
us.
marriage, just bitter bickering from the other side.
Look at me, don't look at Mike.
Okay, guys. Luke's made a point.
You're
How
only
does it make
supposed to
you
say
feel?
okay, there we go. We got to it. Okay. That
Guys.
when he talks to Mike instead of me, that just really points out our lack of communication. And our entire radio show is communication.
I've got a migraine just being in the same room as you right now. Lewis.
How does that make you feel?
So, you were saying that...
It will increase my productivity.
Right,
Our
I think
marriage.
my duties as a work wife on the show will hinder my performance on the show because I'll be so busy looking after you, catering.
And that's fine because it will balance out. So I'll be more productive, you'll be less productive.
yeah, so there'll be no benefit for the show. It'll just completely even out.
Is this... Oh, sorry, guys. How
I'm
does that
looking
make
at
you
you.
feel? You both just looked at me there.
It makes well, it's
Yeah,
a
because I
role.
was wondering how it made me feel, but I was like, no.
I think we need marriage counselling. This isn't working. Look, do you know how it makes me feel, Luke? It makes me feel like you never want to do anything that I want to do. You know what my biggest gripe is? I've been trying to get you to come to lunch and try a Porto for 3 weeks because I had an Oporto chicken wrap with garlic sauce and it blew my mind. And you keep going to Subway for your cheese sandwich. And I think that's disrespectful. You never do anything I want to do.
Don't pretend like a Porto is like delving into the finer things of life. All right,
I'm trying to treat
that's
you.
not far above Subway.
Yeah.
as a fast food franchise.
It's a
Okay,
big
so you want me to
step
try
over-
new things?
It's a big step on top of what you get at Subway.
All right. Well, perhaps we could work on these things further at a couple's retreat, and that's something
to a
I've
Porto.
not. You're asking a hard bargain, Mike. Can you please ask me how that makes me feel?
How does that make you feel, Luke?
Hungry for a Porter's.
Yes.
Can I
A little bit hungry, but also keen for Subway the next day.
Can I try something experimental here?
Yeah.
How does this make you feel, guys?
Still hungry. This is Luke and Lewis Vibes. Lewis, recently I read a story that amused me greatly, and I wanted to share it on the show. It was a story that came out of China. Not often.
Love it already.
Am I
Love
scouring?
it. You're done. Say no more.
Oh, this is Luke and Lewis for lunch. No, so I went. I was scouring a news site, and boy, oh boy, a Chinese zoo recently was had a scandal.
Yep.
In their zoo that they promised rare exotic animals, and they advertised it all
like a
throughout
normal
the world.
zoo.
Yeah, just like, oh, we got penguins, which aren't that rare, really.
Pretty rare,
but they
man.
promised
I've never
them-
seen a penguin like not in a zoo. That's a lie. Seen it on
Phillip
a
Island.
pier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I could get one as a pet.
Yeah, not that rare, but they promised a bunch of rare animals, and zoogoers flocked to this Chinese zoo going, oh my God, there isn't much of this in China. This is going to be great. There's probably like, man, there's going to be heaps of pandas. I don't know what they thought. And then the people got to the zoo to find inflatable penguins in the cages.
Were there real ones in there too?
Not amongst real ones. Just, and I'll show you a picture
Wait,
now.
if they're inflate, why are they in
There's
cages?
some that are just deflated and popped on the ground. They don't, and they're not realistic looking inflatable.
No, they look like
pool toys, like backyard
yeah.
pool toys.
But why? What gets me is cool. Inflatable penguins, go for it. Why are they restrained in like a cage?
Yeah, like
not
they
they're
were
gonna
going to
get out.
escape. And and then apparently the only real animals they had at the zoo were geese and common livestock. Like roosters and stuff in cages. So it was more of a petting zoo than a zoo, but they advertised...
like a concrete farm.
Yeah, they advertised that they were, perhaps had... They lied, essentially.
You know what? I think that's a great business idea. I think
You
that's, I think that's an awesome business idea because, really with zoos, you just got to get people in the door paying for tickets. It doesn't matter what happens during the zoo. Really, that's just a low-cost zoo. You don't have to feed the animals.
You'd have to be a travelling zoo because I don't think they get many return customers. I mean, as much as I do enjoy looking at inflatable penguins, it's not.
You're not going to come back for a second visit. But if it's a travelling zoo, I think that's a great idea. And also, you don't have to travel with any of your animals. You just got to deflate them, put them in your pocket. I think that's a good idea. You know what? Let's start our own fake zoo.
Right. On the show.
Okay, what I've done, Luke, is I've organised a bit of a speaking tour. You know those.
But people are going to know
tours?
it's fake now because you've just told people it's fake.
No, your performance, you're going to play the animals. So, and your performance is going to be so convincing that people are going to forget that I've told them it's fake and be like, no, there's no way that's fake. So what's going to happen is I've recorded a speaking tour. You know, those audio tours where you put on headphones and you walk around the art gallery and it takes you on a tour.
Yeah.
I've recorded one of them describing the animals and it has everything except the animal noises. Right. So I want you to listen to this and come up with the animal noises live.
So I've got to come up with some inflatable animal noises.
Real animal noises. I understand that this probably would be a lot more convincing if you had time to prepare.
Yeah.
But also wouldn't be as amusing for me.
Great.
So, all right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Luke and Lewis's Totally Real Zoo. To your left, you will see the cows.
Moo.
And now, over to your right, you'll see the elephants.
Moo. Wait, what's an
Moving
elephant?
along now, if you pay attention to your right, you will see the flamingos. And now, over to your left, it's a giant giraffe. And finally, it's the big boss of our radio station, Dave Cameron.
Yeah, boys, you're invited to the Christmas party.
That's pretty good.
I'm not sure of my giraffe. I think I just did a horse. I just went,
Mate, all of your noises were the same. You just changed the pitch. Even for the flamingo.
Even for Dave's one, it sounded pretty similar.
Dave was
to the
actually
giraffe.
pretty spot on. I thought he was actually listening to our show and came into the studio.
Yeah,
I think that's
so
great.
come down and see the Dave exhibit, everyone.
Yeah, all other exhibits are closed, but Dave Cameron will be there.
And
live.
China are also running
In
an
a cage.
inflatable Dave as well.
Luke and Lewis for lunch on Triple M Modern Digital.
Lewis, recently, it was pointed out to me by a fan of this show
This is a revelation.
that Radio Mike, who pushes the buttons for us here in the radio studio, looks like Human Shrek. And when I say Human Shrek, I don't mean like a human version of Shrek, the ogre.
No.
I mean in Shrek 2 when Shrek takes the potion and he turns into a human.
Yeah.
So he looks like
looks like a human who looks like Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek as Prince Charming.
Yeah.
Essentially. Which
Yeah.
is kind of like the hunkiest version of Shrek you can get.
Of
So
all the
it's-
Shrek versions, I gotta say, really at the top of attractiveness.
and
Tears.
and at first when this was pointed out to me by a
It
fan of
blew
the show,
my mind.
I was like, I don't know, man. I think you're just trying to make a thing that's not. And then we got a picture of Human Shrek and put it next to Mike's head,
It's
and boy
the
oh
same.
boy, it's some damning evidence.
It's like they put Mike's head and they took it to Disney and were like, "This is what we want Human
Yeah.
Shrek to look like."
It's like they
and just
based the
modelled
model.
it.
Yeah.
What do you think of this, Mike?
First of all, Lewis, Shrek is a DreamWorks film, not a Disney film.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you would
aside-
know. That's the office that you went to.
Aside from technicalities, I'm not really big on this. Like, I don't want to be associated with an ogre.
Your head's big.
You're not. No, not an
Big
ogre.
head.
You're associated with a human who used to be an ogre.
That's just as bad.
No, it's not. In fact, we actually have a clip from Shrek 2 when Shrek wakes up as a human.
This is how Mike must feel every day when he looks in the mirror.
A cute button nose, thick wavy locks, taut round buttocks. I'm
Gorgeous.
See? You're
Gorgeous.
gorgeous. And you know what? Hearing that and then looking at Mike while it plays, you do have thick, wavy hair, a little button nose, and may I say, the strongest resemblance is that taut, round buttocks.
Very taut, very round.
Yeah, and you know what? We actually did a poll.
Yeah, so Mike, we brought to this to Mike after the show, just between ourselves, and then he was like, oh, guys, I don't know what you're talking about. So, well, you know what, mate? Let's let the people who listen to this show decide.
Let the listeners decide.
And 93, we did a poll on Instagram, right? We said, does Radio Mike look like Human Shrek?
We took a photo of Mike and then we put Human Shrek's head right next to it so they could see the picture without going anywhere else. And
I
what
couldn't even tell which one was which. It was weird that Human Shrek didn't have a neck on the photo. That was the only thing that differentiated it.
Yeah. And what did the people vote?
93% said yes, you look like Human Shrek. Only 7% voted no.
How many people voting?
So do you have any, about 400?
That's quite a decisive...
Actually, well over 400. Almost 500 people voted. So that is a...
So over 400 people think you look like Human Shrek, Mike. How does it feel?
I've been told by other people in the office that I look like Jimmy Carr, and I would much prefer if
And
you...
he
But
looks
he
like
isn't-
Human Shrek.
Jimmy Carr, the English comedian, does strongly resemble Human Shrek.
Yeah.
I get told all the time that Lewis looks like a character Callum from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, Google it if you're not familiar with the thingo. We looked at it last night. You do.
Yeah, we had to Google it. I've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see the resemblance there.
It's just a guy with a really long head. And I just look like everyone. I look
Yeah.
like Callum. I look like Human Shrek. I look like everyone. I look like Radio Mark. I look like Lewis.
You're the home brand of people, man. Yeah,
I look like a big one that people say I look like is Eddie Redmayne, who is plays Stephen Hawking in that movie. He also is in Fantastic Beasts and Where
you
to Find
look
Them.
like Mystique from X-Men. You know, the
Apparently
the chick that can look like anyone. That's you.
Apparently, I look like the DJ Martin Garrix as well. It's a bit
Yeah.
obscure, but it's pretty much every white dude with brown hair.
Mike was pretty unhappy about our poll. You said it was biased. So you actually did a poll on your own Instagram, which has no fans on it, just family and friends, because, you know. No.
So, what did the ones closest to you think about you looking like Human Shrek?
I'm sorry to say that mine actually got 80% yes, 20% no. So I guess I do look like
He looks like Human Shrek.
This is Luke Lewis and Human Shrek for lunch on Triple M Modern Digital.
Lewis, before we get into what we're talking about, we just did another Instagram poll regarding if Mike looks or doesn't look like Human Shrek. Mike wanted to put in the argument saying, hey, can we do an Instagram poll saying, do I look more like Human Shrek when Shrek is a human,
Yeah.
not
Or-
Shrek, or Jimmy Carr?
Yeah.
So we put it up on Instagram then, and it's
And?
currently 100% Human Shrek. So it's not looking good for you, Radio Mike.
What do you think, Human Shrek?
Sorry, I don't answer to that. I answer to Radio Mike only.
What about Radio Human Shrek? What do you think of the results?
I think check the survey again because Human Shrek just voted for Jimmy Carr.
All right, so one vote no.
Lewis, you would have been pretty devastated with the news this morning. You woke up to some
What
pretty
news?
devastating news.
What are you talking
That
about?
GQ announced their top 10 worst dresses of the year, worst dressed celebrities.
No, I haven't read it. I like that. It's kind of news.
Yeah.
Why,
Well,
who
I
won?
just,
Or lost? Do you lose that?
it was Kit Harington
that?
was voted. He plays Jon Snow in Game of Thrones.
Oh, I don't watch that show. Why would I care? I don't care about that at all.
Oh, I just thought you'd been going for it all year. I just thought you were trying to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what this segment is about now. I thought this segment was about current news, but clearly it's just about disrespect.
No, I've been looking at what you're wearing. Okay, you've been coming in here every day with wearing
I'm putting effort in.
fluoro Nike Air Maxes with a tucked-in shirt
Yes.
and a leather jacket. I assumed you were trying to get GQ's worst dressed man of 2017.
Okay, you wear the same thing every day. You just walk around in a t-shirt
No.
and Vans.
Yeah, I look like a
Dirty
Kmart
Vans.
model.
Yeah.
Those guys are attractive.
Okay, well, if that's your standard of fashion, good luck to you, mate.
Yeah.
Why don't you go get a minimum wage job while you're at it, because you reached the peak of fashion.
I
at
do have a
Kmart.
minimum wage job, mate. So do you.
So do I.
Yeah. We're at the job right now.
That's
So, so you weren't going for this?
No,
for
I wasn't
GQ's
going
worst
for
dressed all
worst
year.
dressed man. I
Ah.
dress well, thank you.
Right.
Yes.
Well, explain. I'm showing Lewis. Explain the. Sorry, there's too many examples. There is what looks like. I'm looking at a photo here of Lewis wearing a t-shirt with. What even is that?
that one was a mistake.
It's like a turtleneck.
Mate, that was a photo from like 2 years
You're wearing a
ago.
t-shirt with a turtleneck. Is
It's
it
a-
photoshopped?
It's a polo.
Is
with
it
a turtleneck.
photoshopped?
And I wore that 2 years ago. I wore it once, and I never wore it again because I got abused for it.
Yeah,
Okay?
good.
Look, when you're experimenting with fashion, you can't always be 100% right. You want to take some
Right.
wild choices, and sometimes those risks don't always play out. But generally, as a standard fashion icon.
Say what you want. Lewis is playing it down now on air, but he's always. I feel like he's been going for GQ's worst dressed man of 2017 all year.
Stop
So you know what,
saying
mate? Hey,
things
you
that
know what, mate?
aren't true.
I was like, you know what? I think the reason why perhaps you weren't voted is maybe they didn't know who you were. So I was like, you know what, mate? I'll get it rectified. I'll sort it out for you. Don't worry about it. So this
What have
morning
you
I
done?
sent GQ an email just regarding their most recent list.
Oh,
which
you
is-
just have GQ on call,
Pardon?
do you?
Yeah. So I sent him an email just to try and fix the situation. Man, I'm looking out for you. I've got your back.
I don't want you on my back.
All right, I sent them greetings.
You're being a bad work wife, is what you be.
No, I'm trying to get the award that you've been going for all year.
What did you send him?
Greetings, GQ. I recently read
Well, hang
your.
on, how long is this email?
It's quite extensive, so just simmer down over
Just-
there, and I'll get
okay.
through it.
I'll just sit back and listen.
I'm doing you a favour right now.
All right, I'll pretend I'm the editor.
I recently read your world's worst dressed men in 2017 list, and I was baffled to find Kit Harington at the top of the list, not Australian comedian Lewis Spears. I assume this was merely an editing error, or the less likely possibility that GQ are not aware of Lewis and his controversial fashion. I've attached below some examples of Lewis's bold attempts
Can't
at being...
send them pictures of me.
I've sent them 4. I've attached below some examples of Lewis's bold attempts at being a fashion and style icon. As you can see, he looks like Neo from The Matrix if he tucked his shirt in at work and couldn't do cool backflips. I think after looking at...
Can't even read your own email.
Sorry, it's quite long.
Didn't you write that?
Yeah, my computer screen's all messed up, all right? I think I put water on it before the show. So, GQ, if you want to fix this, anyway.
I'm not giving you my prize money.
I'm
for
halfway
worst
through.
dressed, which I won't even going to win that.
I don't
anyway.
think you win anything. I think you just win.
Just keep reading your shitty email.
I think after looking at Lewis's infamous golden shark jeans and Nike Air
They were
Max
cool
combo,
jeans, man.
that you
That
will
was jeans with an embroidered shark mouth and teeth around the crotch area. Fire. Hit the fire
even
button,
even when you describe them, it sounds bad. All right, I said so. Keep on interrupting me. I'm trying to do you a favor here. I think you'll agree that after looking at Lewis's Golden Shark and Nike Air Max combo, that you will agree Jon Snow has a better dress sense than Lewis Spears. And just like Jon Snow, Lewis knows nothing. ... about fashion. Get it? Because of Game of Thrones. I'm Luke, also a comedian, in brackets.
I don't get that.
It's a Game of Thrones reference.
Okay,
I hope this error can be rectified in the near future so Lewis can take his rightful crown of the world's worst dressed man. Kind regards, Luke Kidgel, then in brackets, Kmart style fashionista and all-round basic boy. And then in other brackets, like, seriously, if my dress sense was a restaurant, it will be Subway because it's reliable and nothing special. You're welcome.
Thanks, mate.
And GQ have not yet got back to me.
Yeah, not surprised at all. Luke and Lewis for lunch. Luke, have you heard about the scandal with Santa?
Yes.
What is
But
it?
please inform me in case we heard a different Santa scandal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one did you hear?
He's so scandalous. Oh, was it the one about him and Rudolph perhaps getting a bit...
All right. So anyway, that's not the one that I'm talking about today. So,
What? I was saying him and Rudolph are good friends.
yeah, way too good friends, evidently. So, Luke,
Nothing wrong with some Christmas friendship.
a lot of mistletoe going on. Mike's telling us to wrap it up. We're getting off this topic before Mike turns our microphones off. So, you know how in primary school when the teachers used to get the whole class to write a letter to Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a 6-year-old actually wrote a letter to Santa about whether he had been naughty or nice, but he's doubting Santa's skills, his naughty and nice detecting skills. He's not sure if Santa knows or is watching him. So he wrote this letter. This is a 6-year-old. He said, "Dear Santa, I'm only doing this for the class. I know your naughty list is empty and your good list is empty and your life is empty. You don't know the trouble I've had in my life. Goodbye. Love, I'm not telling you my name."
Boom!
So this
Jesus,
kid...
is he the Grinch?
Well, this kid...
It was written by Scrooge as a 6-year-old.
So this kid knows Santa is real, but he's doubting Santa's powers, saying that you don't know if I've been naughty or nice. There's no way you could watch me, but just to be safe, I'm not going to give you my name in case you are watching me, and then you do put me on the naughty list.
That was pretty cowardly, how he threw out all that shade, but didn't have the guts to put his name at there. He didn't
I
have
think
the
that's
guts to
just
put his
being
name to it.
intelligent. I think that's just being smart. Like, he's bagging out Santa's skills, but just in case, he does have a backup plan.
Yeah, so really, I don't think he's confident in his argument then. He's like, yeah, you can't even watch me, but if you can, I'll not give you my name. So.
He's just covering his bases. But this has been all over the news. People are losing their minds about it. And how do you think Santa feels about this, Luke?
Probably broken inside. He's probably going to console Rudolph tonight.
Mike, what do you think about Santa and Rudolph's relationship?
No comment.
Mike wants us to stop bringing up Rudolph.
So-
Mike's blushing just like Rudolph's nose. His little button nose is blushing right red.
Be silent, Human Shrek. Stop trying to rein us in.
Reindeer us in. Sorry. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, so I think you're correct. Santa is actually quite broken. In fact, he actually held a press conference about this, and we have some exclusive Triple M Modern Digital audio of the Santa press conference. This is what he had to say to this kid.
Oh, ho, ho, this is my official response to the 6-year-old who said that my life is empty. It is actually you who doesn't know the troubles that I've had in my life. Every year I toil in the North Pole making toys for children that are more interested in PlayStations. I tried to make PlayStations once, but Sony threatened to sue me. Now I just have to buy them and ship them forwards to the children. I'm basically a middleman. I have no purpose. My marriage with Mrs. Claus is falling apart. I've never spent a single Christmas with her. Just the damn elves. I'm sick of the damn elves. Oh, nobody gets me any presents.
Firstly, I think I know why Santa's marriage is falling apart. Rudolph's coming between them.
Spending too much time.
Is this Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer?
Apparently, I
Yeah.
typed it in on the...
Yeah, but you've just found an instrumental. And secondly, it sounds a bit shallow from all that stuff, all that hate coming from a grown man at a 6-year-old.
Yeah, that's true. Santa held an entire press conference to bag out the 6-year-old.
Yeah.
He did deviate and bag out Sony, but who doesn't hate Sony?
Yeah, he was just exposing businesses. It's almost like you wrote that.
No comment. Luke and Lewis for lunch on Triple M Modern Digital. That brings us to the end of the show.
Sorry there, we were having a bit of a giggle, just reminiscing the sneeze fart combo noise from earlier. Don't play it again, Mark. He's going to lose it.
I won't. I can handle it.
You can't handle it. You can't handle
You know
it.
what gets me is because it's a male fart and a female sneeze. Here, play the fart.
Don't. What is
That's
that
a
show
male
become?
one. And play the sneeze. And now play them together. And now reverse the order.
All right, that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow we're going to work on our radio show as well as our work marriage.
Yes, we need to go on a work marriage retreat.
Couples retreat to a Porto.
Yeah, it's a date.
All this stuff seems sponsored, but trust me, it's not going to be sponsored. I'm going to hate it.
No, mate, you're going to love giving money to them because you'll be thrilled by their raps. You'll be wrapped with the rap. Now, with that, I'm going to wrap up the show. This is Luke Lewis for lunch on Triple M Modern Digital.